And yeah, when you said silver lining, I thought, well, that means that there has to be a dark cloud. I miss my ladies. I miss the social side. You know me. I love talking. I love being with people. I miss the running club. I miss people. My silver lining is knowing that although it's a small unit that I've got, it's a really, really good one.
Welcome. This is another episode of our PushOn series, a series where we interview business owners and hear from them firsthand the challenges that they face, and they truly become stories of inspiring demonstrations of resilience, which has been absolutely fantastic. And so many people are working hard to keep our economy moving forward, which is incredibly important at this time. And here with me today is Anna Yell, who is the owner of Delsey Gels, which is a home-based salon. Welcome, Anna. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. This is definitely a different sort of meeting for us.
Definitely.
Hello.
We're dressed very differently. I hardly recognise you without your purple shirt on.
So what that means is normally Anna and I are running together with a running group, and we wear purple shirts. So many conversations have been had during running. So this is a completely different format for us. So we shall see how this one goes, much like our runs. So tell me, Anna, how are you today? How are things with work?
Well, obviously very quiet. On the 23rd, when it was announced that we had to close, that was it. It was literally life went from 1,000 miles an hour to stationary overnight. The doors shut, everything came down, and that was it. And I think at first, quite naively probably, I thought to myself, oh, we're getting an extra 2 weeks tagged on to the Easter break. That's nice. And then we can all go back to normal and that will be fine. And here we are 3 months in and still no trading. There's been nothing. I can't do anything. I am completely stuck. So I mean, I've taken advantage of the time and done a few positive things with the business. Had a bit of a rethink with things. I've redecorated, got some new equipment going. Well, loads of new equipment with all the PPE that we've had to get. So, but no, things are good. I'm in a good place. I'm in a lucky position. A lot of or the past interviews that you've done with other people, they've had to worry about massive overheads, bills, staffing, furloughing. Luckily, working from home, I don't have that. My husband works from home, so his wage and his job hasn't been affected at all. He goes to work normally. The added benefits he gets is that he gets more cups of tea made for him because I'm here all day.
Before we go into more detail, could you help everyone understand what it is that you do? What is your business? What is Delsey Gels?
So I'm a nail technician, so I do manicures, pedicures, we do a bit of waxing, I can perm your eyelashes if you'd like me to. I've got a nice setup. Just my window looks right out onto the Castle Park. I know a lot of my ladies love to come and sit and stare out the window. It's a really nice, relaxing place. Come for an hour and forget about everything. I used to be mobile, but I stopped doing that. It was a lot. It took up a lot of time. Obviously, I had to pack everything up and then move over people, and I used to lose a lot of time doing that. So I decided to just stay at home, and actually, it works better because my ladies feel more relaxed. When you're in your own home, you're looking around and you're thinking, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. What's for dinner? All those sorts of things. But when you come here, you get through the front door, you sit down, and you just forget. You look out of the window at that lovely view, and you just relax for an hour. So that's what I do. I make people happy.
So it's quite a different experience then from the nail salons in town, isn't it?
I think so. I mean, all credit to them. But I think a lot of feedback. I've never been in one, never. But the feedback that I've had from them is that you go in and you're sat at one table and they do one part of the treatment, and then somebody else comes along and does the next part, and a lot of the time, you know, they've got their face masks on, which will be me next time, and you know, when I'm able to reopen. But it's a very, people have said it's a very impersonal service when you go somewhere like that. Whereas you come here, we all know each other. Some of my ladies have been coming to me for 5 or 6 years, and you know, I see a lot of them as friends. You know, not friends that necessarily I'd go and meet for coffee, but they're friends. We know each other, and I really look forward to our appointments, and we get to meet up and chat and find out what's been going on throughout the last fortnight since I saw them last. And yeah, I'm really lucky that I have a job that I enjoy. But I'm always saying to John and the kids, you spend so much time of your life at work, you have to love it. You have to. And I'm in a very fortunate position where I love it.
Well, it's really clear that you love your work, because on your Facebook page, you've built up quite a lovely community, and you know you love your people and you love what you do when you have a certain tone and a way of communicating with everyone. And for those of you who are curious, just go find Anna's page on Facebook and you'll see what I mean. When she was talking about reopening and getting some feedback from her community, it wasn't a nice serious survey. It was, well, I think I'm going to get your claws sorted out first, ladies. So you've done really well in building a wonderful community, and you know, credit to you for doing that.
Thank you. I love it. And yeah, my ladies are great, but I do, you know, when you get a new customer through the door, obviously, like I say, there's some people that I've known for 5 or 6 years, and I know how far I can push it. You get a new person through the door, and you have to be really careful and gauge the situation and see how far you can push them. But all of my ladies are great, and everyone's got a different story to tell. And it's great.
Fantastic. And obviously, as a home-based business in this climate, you're having to take a lot into consideration, aren't you, in terms of opening up again and how you prepare for opening, and how do you think that's different for a home-based business compared to a salon in town?
The difference is that there has been no definitive guidance or recommendation at all that I can find. I'm on a couple of Facebook pages, you know, and I've seen some posts where people have said, oh yeah, well, home-based businesses, salons are looking to open on July 4th. But somebody read somewhere that home-based businesses may have to wait longer than that. There's been no, you know, we haven't been told, salons have been told there's, you know, the kind of PPE that they're going to need. We've had nothing like that at all. There's been no, so basically it's kind of been a lot of guesswork, and I went through everything. I walked myself through the front door, and I thought, right, what do I need to do first to make everybody, obviously my priority is to keep my customers healthy and safe, but still feel comfortable. I don't want them coming in here and me with, you know, coming visors, masks, gloves, aprons, like, you know, they're going to have, you know, some sort of operation, or I want people to still be able to relax when they come here. So it's trying to find that fine line. So I literally walked myself through the appointment and looked at every single stage and how what I needed to do to make that, to make it comfortable for everybody. And as well as, you know, I have to take into consideration the fact that not only is this a place of business, this is also my home. I have to take into account my family, you know, and their health and safety as well. So it's there's a lot going on with very little help.
Mm-hmm. And have you been able to access any help that's been provided through the council?
To be honest with you, I've not really even tried. No, again, I've looked on various websites for help, and I have friends as well that are in a similar position, you know, running small businesses from home, and we've kind of got together and discussed, you know, or what do you think of this, and or have you thought of that, and that sort of thing. So it's kind of been guiding each other. But like I say, there's not really the information there to be had.
Mm-hmm. And how about the government updates? Has that been helpful at all?
Not at all.
Okay.
No, again, it's all just directed at salons, which is great, but you know, and see the thing, like I say, I've taken advice, looked at all the guidelines for the salons, but because the setup is so different in a salon, you've got people coming and going all the time and crossing over. I mean, those nail bars, you know, even and they are spaced out quite well. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't 2 meters apart already. You can have 6 or 8 people in there at any one time. This is one-to-one. Part of my plan is I've had to say to people, no mask, no appointment. There will be, I've just actually taken receipt delivery of my screen that will be going up on my desk. I will be wearing PPE, aprons, everything will be sanitised in between appointments. I've had to take measures so that we don't get that crossover. It's a real shame because it's such a social thing as well, and I have several clients that like to come together. And, you know, I've got a nice little sort of seating area in the corner of my room, just bought a new little sofa for it not so long ago. So people come in, they come together, it's a social thing. I have a group of ladies come in at Christmas and we have our Prosecco and pastry evening, and we all sit together and have nails and then have a bit of a buffet, well, you know, things like that. It's all got to change. But like I say, it's one-to-one here, so there won't be any crossover anymore of people meeting in the corridor. And you know, when the doorbell goes, my family know that they have to go in another room with the door shut whilst I get people in and out. So I think there's a lot less chance of cross-infection happening here than there is in a salon. So really, why would they think that I would need to open later and I'm a higher risk than a salon? Because salon, you've got a lot more footfall, haven't you, during the day, whereas I can limit it.
So it sounds like you're making quite a lot of changes and you're thinking this through quite thoroughly. Are there any other ways that you think this will change your business and how you operate?
So I think the main one is going to be the social side. I've had to say to everybody, for the time being, until Boris tells us otherwise, it is, like I say, it's one in, one out. Yeah, it's the social aspect. You know, I have like mums and daughters that come together. I mean, people can come together, I've said, up to 3 in the room, including me, at any one time. Obviously, if you're living in the same household, then that's fine, you can still come together. Every now and then, sometimes people have had to bring their kids with them. You know, these things happen every now and then, and I've always had Millie on hand to get the colouring books out and things like that. I've had to say no kids. I've had to ask people to politely not to bring their mobile phones in with them, leave their mobile phones in their handbags. And it's all, I've listed everything and I've put it all on the Facebook page, and I've asked everyone just to have a real close read, just so they know. And you know, it's going to feel very different at first, but then again, so did lockdown. It felt different, whereas now I'm quite happy in my little bubble here with my family. We have our routine and you get used to it. So it will be a different experience at first, but like I say, hopefully still comfortable. And I've pre-warned everyone. I've walked them from the front door, everything that's going to happen while they're here, so it won't be a big shock. They know what I'm going to be doing. They know what they need to do. Yeah, and I've implemented a lot of new things. I've bought contactless card readers, so people don't need to pay cash. And I think no one pays cash anymore, do they? Especially since there's no shops taking cash or anything like that. So I've had to come into the 21st century with my technology, which anyone that knows me, I can just about switch a mobile phone on. I can operate Facebook, but other than that, it's no good asking me about anything to do with technology. But I'm getting there.
So I mean, that really is quite a few changes. And the other thing I'd add to the list is perhaps communication. A bit more communication I've certainly seen coming from you. Do you think this whole pandemic has forced you to communicate more with your clients than you have in the past?
To be honest with you, I've always been quite vocal on my page, and you know, any new things that I think about introducing into the shop. You know, I'm always asking if there's anything, you know, that they think I can improve on, or So I like to keep everybody involved, but I have tried on a weekly basis just to put on my page, hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're all keeping well. This is what the L's have been up to this week, and trying to keep, I mean, I'm a very glass half full person. It's very rare that you'll find me down in the dumps. I'm a positive person, so I try to get that across on my page. And yeah, so I've kept in touch with everybody, and I regularly put things on the page, just even if we've had a conversation with a client, and something's made me triggered my memory, I've seen something happen on the telly or in the town, then I'll text them or I'll put it on the Facebook page, or I've kept in touch with everybody, which has been really, and I mean, sort of however many years ago, you couldn't have done that. I mean, this is what Facebook for me is all about. I don't like reading all these depressing posts, and you very rarely find me, posting anything, that will bring you down. I just think it should be used to lift people's spirits, not bring you down. Absolutely. And it's hard at the time we're in now. There's a lot of people, in awful circumstances. People that are living on their own, single parents. People that with ill parents that they can't go and see, and it's such a tough time. I just like to think that if you come onto my page, then I might kind of make you smile even just for a minute.
That's brilliant, Anne, and you definitely do. I can attest to that. So there's quite a few things there that you've mentioned there that you're doing to feel a little bit more grounded and control of what's going on. Are there any other little sort of routines that you've introduced to your work life or your work day, in addition to what we've already mentioned?
There's been absolutely nothing that I've introduced to my workday because I can't do anything. That's a lie, actually. That is a lie. I have an 11-year-old daughter who every maybe 2 or 3 days requests a colour change. So she's kept me busy doing her nails. So I haven't lost my nap. But there is literally, so like I say earlier, I've redecorated the room. Bought a few new pieces of equipment. We've got a nice new manicure table. We've got a few colours. Just cleaned everything up, had a little switch around. It feels really lovely and relaxed in here. I'm really pleased. But as for anything else, there is nothing I can do. Like I say, life's gone from 100 miles an hour to stationary with regards to work. I've had to find other things to do.
Mm. And in terms of other things to do, what's something that you've done this week that you loved? It doesn't have to be about work, just in general.
Well, I'm quite proud. I think a lot of people have. I think the nation is split with this furlough, and people have gone one of two ways. They've either gone, do you know what? I can't do this. I just need to sit on the sofa, and I can't move. I haven't got the motivation to do anything. I can't get up. Whereas I'm on the other side and I've gone, right, do you know what? I can do something here. I can spend a bit of time on myself. So before the alarm would go off at 6:10 in the morning, my kids go to school 10 miles away, shipping them off to school in the car, come home, go to work all day, go and pick the kids up, make the tea, work in the evenings. I'd work all day on Saturday. I'd have Sunday. That's when I'd cut the grass, or, there'd be other mum jobs that you need to do. And it was just so busy. When now I've had so much time to think about me. And it sounds, I feel selfish and I feel guilty sometimes for just stopping and doing things. But I've really got into my exercise, and I exercise for maybe sort of 2 hours a day sometimes, if not more. And my routine on a Monday, I do a stock take of the house, and I write my shopping list and my meal planner. So that's Monday and housework day. And then Tuesday is Tesco Tuesday. So I go and do my Tesco shop, and by the time I've got home and put all that away and all the rest of it, and then done my exercise. So I do have a routine in that way, as trying to keep the kids going. But this week I absolutely nailed with my running. I've been running with John, which didn't really happen before because of work and He's a much faster runner than I am, but he's really helped me, and I've absolutely smashed some of my running targets and personal bests, even actually without even trying to. I haven't gone out in the morning and thought, right, we're going to do this, but you know, sort of we set the alarm set for 6:45 in the morning to go running. Who am I? If anybody like from sort of 5 or 6 years ago knows me, that thing, you know, I mean, I couldn't even run a bath, you know, and now I'm out doing, you know, anything less than 6 miles to us in the morning now, 5 times a week. We kind of think we're slacking. So I've had that routine, and that's been really nice to focus on me for a little while. And I'm hoping when I get back to work that, you know, I'll still be able to fit all of that in. And, you know, it's just a case of, I always say to John, I haven't got time to exercise like this. And he's like, well, you have, you just need to reorganise. So this has taught me that it's not all about work, that you need to have a good work-life balance. And family time is so important to me. Only having a very small family unit. So that's what I'll be concentrating on.
Brilliant. And I've seen you smashing goals with your running. And this morning I was still sitting in my running gear, stuck behind my desk, because there's so many things that come in so early. I was up at 6, but I was still here in my running gear, and I see your post coming in, and you've faster than the fastest man. Which is absolutely amazing.
It was so funny. He was at the traffic lights, and John and I ran past, and John said, "Oh, morning, Ram." And I was like, "I've just run past the fastest man in Colchester." And I said, "Come on, I keep going. And I was just expecting him, like Wile E. Coyote, just to come sprinting past at any moment, which would have really, really brought me down. But he didn't. And I was like, no, I'm still faster.
Oh, that was absolutely brilliant. Now, on these interviews, I always ask everybody about a silver lining, because I always look for a silver lining in all the challenges that we face in our work and in our life. Can you find a story that has a silver lining? Or maybe you've already expressed that.
I think, see, this is a really tricky one for me, a silver lining, because I've got it quite good here. Like I say, I'm lucky that, you know, I when I read other people's stories and you hear things on the news, actually I'm all right. My silver lining is that I've got my family. And yeah, when you said silver lining, I thought, well, that means that there has to be a dark cloud to find that silver lining. And yeah, okay, my business has stopped, and that has been really hard. I miss my ladies. I miss the social side. You know me. I love talking. I love being with people. I miss the running club. I miss people. But actually, you know, my silver lining is knowing that although it's a small unit that I've got, it's a really, really good one. And we're solid. And I think a lot of people being put under this sort of pressure, almost, if you like. You know, we live together. John's still working here. He's got the kids here, and you know, and my work has stopped, and he's got me faffing around, you know, walking in on him at all times of the day. But it could have gone the other way. You know, when you go from living quite independent lives, and, you know, with my job being very busy, as I explained earlier, to not having very, very much to do. It could have gone the other way. We could have fought. We could have really fallen out. But I actually think it's made us stronger. Every night we go out and we walk our dog. We do that as a family. The kids and I, we get out and we go out on our bikes. In the afternoons, if we get an opportunity to, we'll cycle over to my sister's and we'll say hello to my nephew through the window. You know, and it's, yeah, I think it's actually real. And the thing that bothers me about when we come out of lockdown is how that is going to affect my little bubble, because I love where I am, and it'll be nice to get other people into my bubble. But yeah, I can't say silver lining. I'm just so happy with my lot. I don't, yeah.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And this other question that I'll ask you, in you don't have to answer it, and you might not have an answer, but have you ever at any stage thought of giving up because the pressures or the challenges were too big?
Yes and no. There's been times when I've thought, do you know what? Because you can't go shopping, because it's not easy to access things and spend money, because everything is shut. It's made me realise in the past that I've wasted a lot of money on things that I don't need. You know, and I thought to myself, I could be a lady of leisure. I could not have to work at all. John can just support me the whole time. So, and then I think to myself, because then, you know, when the shops are open, I don't want to be asking for money. I want, you know, I like to support myself. I like to be able to take the children out. I like to be able to do things. So from a silly point of view, I thought, but then do you know what? I said that to John and he said, don't be so ridiculous. He said, you can't sit still for 5 minutes. You know, you'd be no good, you know, not working. And I know that. I know that I couldn't do it. I'm not a sit down person. I'm sitting here now thinking, I've been sat down for 40 minutes. I really should.
And you're spinning in your chair as well, Anna, spinning away.
Sorry, is that really bad?
Fine, it's fine. And so the last question for you before we close off, because you have been sitting in your chair nicely for me for 30 minutes, 30-minute interview, is what message would you like to share with other home-based business owners right now? Is there anything you'd like to say, or any business owner?
Oh gosh, it's so hard, isn't it? Because each business is so different and everybody's circumstances are so different. Like I say, I'm lucky enough that we've got the security of John's job, so I don't need to worry. Yes, I might have to, you know, fall back on things when I do the shopping, and I have to think a little bit more about, you know, where the money's going and things like that. But just, you need to stay positive, keep moving. That is so important. You know, I can't stress enough how it, you know, even there's sometimes when I'll be at home and I've cleared up the lunch things and I'll just say to John, I'm just going for a walk for an hour or half an hour just to get some fresh air. Does you so much good, and people are going to sit there thinking, oh, for God's sake, she goes, you know. But it really, I'm lucky. I've never suffered with any mental health problems or anything like that. But I do find when I get out and run or even just walk or just being outside in some fresh air, it does you the world of good. And just try and stay positive. There's kind of light at the end of the tunnel now. We are seeing that. It's going to happen, and we just need to come back bigger and better, and, you know, stay communicating with your clients like I have done. And you know, they're chomping at the bit to come back, and I'm chomping at the bit to see them. And the diary is already full up for the first few months of, you know, I've said to people, the book's open, get yourselves in as of the 4th of July, you know, on the understanding that if Boris says no, then that's how it's going to have to be. But just fingers crossed that, you know, and yeah, just try and say, it's really annoying though, isn't it, when positive people come along, they're all bouncy and you're just not feeling it. And but it's got to get better. It's got to get better.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Anna. We'll keep bouncing. Keep us all afloat and uplifted. You're doing an amazing job, and thank you. So if you are needing your nails done, check out Delcy Gels and meet Anna Yell. You won't regret it. She's a star. So thank you, Anna, for joining us this week.
Thank you for having me.
Next week, we are speaking with Joe Glover, who is the founder of the Marketing Meetup. So many people have been to the Marketing Meetup in Colchester. We haven't been running our local events due to the pandemic, but we're doing everything online. And Joe will speak to us about his experience of owning a business that runs physical events and the impact that it's had on him, and the challenges he's had to come. So join us next week when we speak with Joe. Thank you, Anna, and I'll see you out running soon.
I hope so.
Bye.
Bye.